Stride is a high-octane VR parkour game that has you running through rooftops, cityscapes, and other futuristic environments, blasting down enemies with a pistol and avoiding obstacles as you go. Sounds pretty cool, right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it does. Yeah, you know, yeah, kinda. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't a bad game by any means, and I truly believe that it has, or had, the potential to be great. But there are just so many things that are weird or glitchy with it, it's almost like the developers had a great idea for a game, built some super fun core mechanics into it, then went ahead and hired your average $5 5-year-old on Fiverr to finish it. Wow, that was a lot of F's. But on the bright side, there are a couple things that I really love about this game that make me think it can be redeemed. The parkour aspect of this game is super fleshed out, and on the most part pretty well polished. The first time I played the tutorial, it was super fun to move my arms in real life and see the character move in real game. Like, really cool. Like,
wow, that was really cool.
Cool. Every action feels pretty natural to do and flows together well when playing the game. After playing for a bit, you build up this rhythm while you run that allows you to smoothly transition from jumping to climbing to running, etc. It's kind of hard to explain, but you get this flow while playing that makes you feel like a master parkourist, and that feeling is only heightened by how smooth the core mechanics feel. On top of that, there are very minimal bugs, and it really makes for a fun VR experience that you can't get anywhere else, at least on the Quest. It also completely heightens immersion because you're using your real-life arms instead of a joystick and some buttons. For me, jumping from building to building and grabbing onto a small ledge feels way more real than it ever has, just because it's me actually doing the motions. Sure, there are your occasional wall running or double jumping bugs, but on the whole it feels really good, and it's obvious that the team spent a lot of time perfecting it. So if the developers can figure out a complicated system like that, they can figure out some more simple mechanics, right? Right? Well, usually when I make reviews, I like to focus more on the positive side than the negative. I mean, every game is going to have its issues. That's
inevitable.
Bruh. But small issues or bugs shouldn't stop anyone from buying the game. But in Stride's case, those issues take up almost all of the game's features and are a lot bigger than just small bugs. So I feel like I have to talk about them. Visually, the game looks fine graphics-wise. It's when you look at the actual maps and art style that you start to see the issue. Everything looks dull. The maps look basically the same the whole time you play them, especially for the endless mode, and the color is always this grayish white that just screams industrial. Maybe this appeals to some people, but in my opinion, I want to be parkouring through crazy fun and futuristic environments, like Pistol Whip has, not through my dad's morning commute to work. On top of that, everything has the exact same, very minimalistic design that, paired with the controllers, makes it just a super dull environment to be in, and not something I would expect from a high-octane VR parkour game. The other issue I have with the game is the combat. Oh god, the combat. Stride has two enemies, these sniper guys that shoot at you, and a drone that flies around and throws obstacles in your path. In theory, these are actually pretty good enemies for a game like this to have. The issue is sadly in the execution. The drone does basically nothing, as the obstacles are easy to avoid or just can be shot with a gun. As far as I can see, it doesn't add any sort of challenge or reason to be there, but maybe that's just because I am an epic pro gamer. That, or I suck too much to get to the point where they're actually hard. You decide. Either way, they seem to be more of an inconvenience than anything else, like a fly on your wall that isn't doing much, but you still want to kill it because it's in your house and bothering you. The other enemy, the sniper, is probably the worst implementation a game like this could have had. Since there's no aimbot like Pistol Whip has, and they take a couple shots to kill, it's actually hard to shoot these guys, and I constantly have to stop and aim my gun just to kill them. Yes, you heard me correctly, you have to stop in a parkour game. I mean, is it just me who thinks that this game should be all about momentum and fluidity? No, it isn't, because obviously that's what they were trying to accomplish with the movement system. A fast-paced, fluid system where actions lead into one another and create the flow that I was talking about earlier. So then, why are they making you stop in a freaking parkour game? Sorry, that was loud. To me, it seems like a really bad implementation that completely ruins all the flow and feel of the game I was praising earlier. It's almost like there are two developers with conflicting ideas, where one wanted to make a fast-paced parkour game and the other wanted to make a slower, more shooter-focused game. But instead of making two separate games, they just smashed them into one game. And in my opinion, it just doesn't work at all. You just end up stopping every 15 seconds or so to kill an enemy or go behind a wall to hide from enemy fire, like this is Pavlov VR instead of Stride. Yeah! Get I think the easiest fix would be to implement an aimbot or aim assist like Pistol Whip has, and have the game be more focused on dodging bullets and parkouring rather than shooting enemies in the realistic combat they're trying to go for. But hey, that's just my 2 cents. I know I kinda went on a rant there, but I think these issues bring down the overall feel of the game and make it less of a high-octane game and give it this kind of bland feeling overall. Now, don't get me wrong, I still think this game has a lot of potential. If this game looks really fun to you, go ahead and click off this video right now because you could actually have a fun time playing with it instead of watching some idiot on the internet criticize everything about it. A lot of what I said was based off my own personal opinions and preferences, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. If you want to see me do more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment so I know that you're interested. But, as always guys, stay questing.